Hi everybody, welcome to the 4th Animals in War and Peace Medal Ceremony. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces. We're just very grateful to have you all here. Yes, Yoda, you too. We'd like to open this night with a welcome video from Congressman Don Beyer. He's been one of our supporters since the very beginning, and he couldn't be here tonight, but he did want to send his welcome, and so we will start his video right now.
Good evening, and welcome to the 4th Annual Animals in War and Peace Medal Ceremony. My name is Don Beyer. I represent the 8th Congressional District of Virginia, and I am the proud dog dad of Otto Sterling Beyer IV. I want to thank especially to Angels Without Wings, the Living Good Group, and the U.S. War Dogs Association for hosting tonight's ceremony and for including me to make a few remarks. Throughout history, countless animals have assisted our country's first responders and service members in their work to maintain safe communities by addressing foreign and domestic threats to peace. Tonight, 7 honorees have each sacrificed and demonstrated exceptionally meritorious service to their country in their respective roles as service animals, as first responders, and even within the ranks of the U.S. Armed Services. The outstanding work done by Cody, by Sonia, Bane, Endo, Axe, and Yoda, as well as the ultimate sacrifice made by Kitt, were integral to the success of their missions and deserve our gratitude and recognition. I'd also like to take this time to profess my deepest appreciation to their handlers, their human handlers, for working with them to ensure that these animals were equipped with the skills necessary to execute the actions that they're being honored for tonight. So thank you, all of you, for being here, for supporting the animals, for supporting their handlers, and the organizations that utilize their talents for the greater good.
Thank you. So I'm Robin Hatton, and I am the MC for this evening. I also have 2 other MCs, Mary Living Good from the Living Good Group, and Chuck Roddenberry from the U.S. War Dogs Association. You'll hear from them in a moment. Angels Without Wings spearheaded the dedication of 6 national monuments to the Korean War Horse Sergeant Reckless, and also one to MWD Luca. And they were all done by Jocelyn Russell, the artist, who's here tonight. She's one of our board members. So we love honoring our animals in any way we can, and tonight with our 6 dogs here and 1 posthumous award, we're just very, very grateful to keep it all going. The Animals in War and Peace organization has been part of Angels Without Wings since 2018, and we're grateful to be here tonight for our 4th ceremony since 2019 to honor 7 incredible K9 heroes. As I said, my co-hosts are here. They'll come up in a moment. But I wanted to say that this is our first ceremony where we have all K9s, and tonight we honor 7 of them. Those who had no voice and no choice, but served so valiantly serving our country in war and peace. And it's in honoring them and remembering their stories that we pay tribute to the men and to the women that serve so valiantly alongside of them. Tonight we will award 3 dogs with our Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal, and 4 with our Animals in War and Peace Medal of Bravery. 1 award will be posthumous, and all of the others are with us here tonight, which is really, really wonderful. They're either still in active service or retired from active duty, and we have our very first team that we're honoring tonight, which is really cool. But before we get to their stories, I'd like to once again introduce the Reverend Margaret Groom-Kibben, chaplain of the U.S. House of Representatives, and ask her to give the invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chaplain Margaret Groom-Kibben.
Pray with me. Almighty God, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, Lord God, you made them all, and we give you thanks. But I and several people in this room give you special thanks that you did something special and created dogs. So we thank you for designing these faithful companions, that they would provide for us a profound testimony of what loyalty and compassion should look like. And as we honor these K9 heroes today, Cody, Kitt, Bane and Yoda, Sonia, Endo, and Axe. And as we hear their incredible stories of their brave and courageous actions in both war and peace, remind us that they serve as an example not just of duty, but of devotion, not just of obligation, but gallantry, and not just service, but they are truly an example of selflessness. So with grateful hearts, we admire the bonds that have been forged between the dogs we honor and their valiant handlers, and that special connection that they share, their devotion and steadfast commitment to each other and to this country. May the rest of us see what is really vital to the challenges of war and peace, freedom and security. We ask your special blessing on each one of these animals today. And may their handlers at this moment put their hands on their heads, that the animals would know of the blessing that they are to them and the blessing that you give them through their handlers and all who surround them. As only you can do, speak into the hearts of these fine animals, that they might hear our gratitude for their sacrifice and service. And strengthen your name, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Kitt. It's always a joy to have you join us. We're very grateful for it. So right now, the young Marines were supposed to be here tonight to present the colors, but they're not here. So what I'd like to do is have everybody stand up, and there's a flag here, and we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Mary Lou Livingood, President of the Living Group here in Washington, D.C., and a nominating board member of Animals in War and Peace, to recognize our members of Congress supporting our efforts tonight. Mary Lou has been a partner with Animals in War and Peace since 2018 and is working closely with Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congresswoman Julia Brownley staffs in presenting our 2024 resolution that dropped in the House of Representatives today.
Thank you, Robin. Good evening. It's so great to see everybody here again. It's been a privilege and honor for the last 7 years to be involved in this. The Animals in War and Peace was actually started with support and encouragement from the late Senator John Warner of Virginia in 2018. Senator Warner's legacy continues to inspire us today to recognize our animals for their acts of resolute and fearless service to America's freedom and peace. It is my great honor to recognize two wonderful supporters, Congresswoman Brownley and Congressman Bilirakis. Congresswoman Brownley represents California's 26th district. Congressman Bilirakis represents Florida's 12th district. We are so grateful for your extraordinary support. As Robin mentioned, our House resolution was dropped yesterday, and we are, we'll have it posted on our website. We'll be spreading it hither and yon to make sure that more members of Congress will serve and support this House resolution to finally recognize these wonderful animals in the United States. So we are grateful for their support in this bipartisan resolution in the House and presenting the animals with their medals again this year. For those members, thank you. Yes. The members of Congress that are joining us today to present the medals are Congressman Jamie Raskin, who's here yet again for the third time, and who's from Maryland, and Congressman Bryan Steil, I don't think he's here yet, of Wisconsin. Congressman Mark Vesey of Texas will be here shortly, and Congressman Quigley of Illinois is here to join us again today too. So thank you so much, and it is my pleasure to welcome Congressman Bilirakis and Congresswoman Julia Brownley.
So before you give your talks, I'm gonna play the video of Endo and Axe really quickly so they know who you are talking about. Our first medal tonight is the Medal of Bravery of Endo and Axe, and they are from Volusia Sheriff's Office in Volusia, Florida. And we'll go ahead and play the video really quick.
My name is Brent Whitson. I'm a senior deputy sheriff at the Volusia Sheriff's Office. Currently assigned to the Sheriff's Office K9 unit. This is my retired K9 partner, K9 Endo. K9 Endo is a German Shepherd that was trained in narcotics detection as well as criminal apprehension. So we were paired together in 2012. And he retired September 11, 2021.
Deputy A.J. Davis from the Volusia Sheriff's Office K9 unit. This is K9 Axe. He's a German Shepherd. He's trained in tracking and apprehension of any criminal felony suspects. He also does narcotics detection.
There's so many standout deployments that I had with K9 Endo. One particularly that stands out. November 4th, 2015, he was shot while apprehending an attempted murder suspect that had just shot his girlfriend and then shot deputies prior to running. And that unfolded quick. So as I was getting out of the car, the guy turns and takes a couple shots at us and then takes off running. So immediately I hit the back door, no leash, and sent Endo on the apprehension. And Endo made that apprehension in the woods, out of sight from me, but I heard the gunshots. So I started calling Endo back. And he was reluctant, but he came back and then he stopped in the woods and he wanted to go back in, and I backed up against a big oak tree for cover, so there were still gunshots. And I turned my light on, looked at my hand, saw my hands covered in blood, and knew that Endo had been shot. He surprised me that he had taken some bullets, stayed on the light, and came back to me and still wanted to go. At that time, he was shot at the base of the skull that came out behind his ear, the back of his neck. And that was a relatively quick recovery. So the night of September 11th, 2021, there was a carjacking that occurred in Deltona, where a suspect had fled after the carjacking. He was later spotted and he fled from deputies on foot. And Deputy Davis was working that area with his new K9 partner, Axe, at the time. I wasn't too far away, and I told Deputy Davis on the radio, I was like, I'll be there in just a minute, just give me a couple minutes and I'll go with you. Because essentially it was open and shut. You had the guy clear, the helicopter was piled, and it turned into something much more.
I responded to the area, being a new handler at the time. Really gung-ho, wanted to prove the dog can track and, he can apprehend, and this was a bad guy. So I got on scene and, put the dog in the lead, and so we deployed the dog from the roadway. He goes in. Our air support was kind of leading us to him, and as I was giving him the lead to go in there, it kind of went tight, and then that's when we heard one gunshot followed by another. And at that point, I was just pulling him back. We didn't know where it was coming from. We had an idea of the area, but we couldn't see anything. I just wanted to get him back to safety. So I got Axe back to me, and immediately I saw him bleeding from his face. I thought it was his mouth. It was just running. So I loaded him up as fast as I could and just exfilled him out to I didn't know where I was going. I just was getting out of there to somewhere that people could take care of him. One of the longest rides ever, especially as fast as I was going. And when I got there, it was such a big relief. Especially opening the back of the door and seeing how much blood was in there and stuff. I just knew he was in good hands at that point.
So we had called in more resources, we had called in SWAT. In my mind, I knew that, if K9 Endo was to go in, it probably ended his death. And that's the last thing I wanted. However, K9 Endo would be the only thing to stand between this guy and freedom if he chose to run. And ultimately, that's what he did. He found a weak spot in the perimeter, and he made a run for it. So K9 Endo was sent to apprehend him. And that was probably the longest 20 seconds of my life. So I saw Endo leave out of sight, go through some bushes, and I heard the gunshots.
Dogs loose, dogs loose.
And when I made it through the bushes and saw So at that time, Quigley had been shot in the face. So he took around to his jaw, and ultimately his paw was shot also. I saw K9 Endo get hit. He came off for a brief second and went back to the bike and remained on the bike till I got him off.
I've never, had to go through a dog being shot. The bullet was in his stomach. They had to open up his stomach to get it out. But he essentially was ready to go in 3 weeks. Since the incident, it's kind of like we both grown and we both realized, all right, this is what we're here to do. My confidence in him is way beyond what I could imagine. You never know when you get a dog, you're kind of hoping he'll be good, and track good, and apprehend good, and all these things. Now I know it. You know when he gets there, okay, there's a good chance if this guy can be caught, he's going to be caught.
I mean, he made me look way better than I really am. There was times when I would come on scene and I said, this guy's not catching me. He's gone. And then they'll follow me. We'll get him. And he'll get him.
K9 Endo and K9 Axe were both awarded a Purple Heart for their injuries. This was Endo's second one. Endo retired after the shooting, but K9 Axe still continues to serve today. We are so very proud to honor our first team, K9 Endo and K9 Axe, with the Animals and War and Peace Medal of Bravery number 19. Congratulations to you both for your distinguished and heroic service with the Volusia Sheriff's Department. So I would like to call on Deputy Brett Whitson with Endo, and A.J. Davis with, and why don't you stand over there? And we'll hear from the Congressman Brownley and Congressman Bilirakis to present the medals.
Well, thank you very, very much, and it's a great honor to be here to be able to celebrate a very special occasion in recognizing the service of our military and law enforcement animals. This event has become a time-honored tradition on Capitol Hill over the last several years, and this program would not be possible without the hard work of what I call the dynamic duo of Barry, Lou, and Robin. So I want to thank you for your unwavering commitment to recognizing these remarkable service animals and for crediting these animals, big and small, furry and feathered, and highlighting the contributions they have made to our nation's armed forces and law enforcement operations. Throughout our history, highly trained animals, including dogs, horses, and birds, have been on numerous front lines. Like their handlers and the men and women in uniform they serve with, these animals have risked their lives to save the lives of others. From being shot at on city streets while apprehending a subject to flying through dangerous war zones to deliver key intelligence and logistics on specific operations, these animals are nothing short of extraordinary. They bravely defend our nation and protect our democracy. Today, I am proud to add another courageous animal to this remarkable list of distinguished warriors, Axe, and his handler, Deputy A.J. Fox, from the Volusia Sheriff's Office K9 unit in Bane, Florida, are trained in narcotics detection and apprehending criminal suspects. Not only is Axe a beautiful German Shepherd, but he has keen instincts, he's very agile, and extremely smart. Along with Deputy Davis, he has responded to calls while on duty and is a true companion in apprehending the bad guys. And like all law enforcement personnel, there's always a danger to the job, and Axe is no stranger to that danger. As it has been noted, he suffered a gunshot wound to the stomach, which was not only traumatic for this canine, but for his handler as well. Fortunately, Axe is as resilient as he is brave, and he was back on the job and apprehending bad guys in 3 weeks. For his distinguished acts of bravery, Axe was awarded the Purple Heart, and today I am proud to award Axe with the Animals for War and Peace Medal of Bravery. Thank you again for this opportunity, and please join me in congratulating X, our favorite dog.
Good evening. I'm Bilirakis, and I represent Florida's 12th Congressional District, and I happen to know where Volusia County is, because I'm from Florida, and just in case you don't know, everyone knows about Daytona Beach. Probably went there for spring break. Folks, I do want to say that Julia does an outstanding job in Congress. We've worked together on several issues. With regard to our true American heroes, our veterans, and I know how much she loves our veterans and active duty personnel, but also to our animals, and I do too. It is a pleasure to be here to honor the achievements of these K9 heroes, and they are heroes. Too often we solely focus on the service and sacrifice of our nation's veterans, and we should, and first responders, and we should, but sometimes we forget that we should recognize the critical contributions provided by the heroes on the other end of the leash. And that's what we're doing here this evening. I've been a long-time advocate of recognizing the contributions animals make in our lives, and have the honor of being the co-chair of the Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond. Great timing. And the Congressional Caucus for the Humane Bond is a bipartisan group that was created to celebrate and highlight the importance of the vital, often life-saving, truly life-saving bond between people and animals. I wish we had them here more. I know we have dogs in the offices, but we would get along a lot better if each member of Congress had an animal, more than likely a dog. Anyway, we better work on that, Julia. I applaud Animals in War and Peace for putting the spotlight on these heroes to recognize the remarkable achievements, and I'm the proud co-lead, along with Representative Brownley, of the Animals in War Peace Resolution, which would recognize the contributions these service animals and their handlers have made in both war and peace. But today it's not about me, it's not about members of Congress, it's about honoring these heroes and their handlers. You are truly heroes as well, and we should honor you every single day. But today, I have the honor to present Endo, the Animals in War and Peace Medal of Bravery. As you are able to see, K9 Endo is the true embodiment of a hero, always running towards the fight, and that's the definition of the hero. Endo consistently proved himself in the field, and how. The empowering experiences recollected show Endo's unparalleled courage, loyalty, and commitment to the mission. Endo's service and sacrifice undeniably made his community safer. I thank him for his service and cannot think of a K9 more deserving of this wonderful award. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Endo.
Short straw, so I'll be the one speaking on behalf of the Sheriff's Office tonight in Volusia County. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody involved in this, and War and Peace, Robin Hutt, Marshall Roberts. These dogs are always ready to show what they got. There's a reason that we all grew up reading about Bull Yeller or White. And not Garfield. I haven't seen the cat on the award list yet, so I'm not saying there won't be, but I just want to say thank you for everybody. It shows the love for our dog. Everybody that came up, they like us, okay, but they love the dogs, and so do we. They definitely kept us safe. And I know that hearing the stories from some of the other handlers here, that they're all very deserving, and I'm humbled to have been selected. So thank you.
I thought it was just going to be Brett having to say something, but I just want to echo what he was saying. It's a big honor for us. I mean, there's a lot of these canine handlers all over the world, everything that do amazing stuff, and we're pretty blessed that we get recognized. And we just want to thank everybody for coming out, supporting us. It really is such a big deal for us and what these dogs do day in and day out. Brett said something in our video that I kind of take all the time is they make us look good. I mean, we're just at the end, we're a team, but these dogs end up making us look good. So they deserve all the credit, and we appreciate everyone coming out here and supporting us and recognizing us for this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, AJ, and Brett Whitson with Endo. And that's just a wonderful way to start off the evening. Now, just like last year, we have a couple of little scheduling changes here, so we're trying to figure out the next one. So just give me a second so as we figure out which one we want to do. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is K9 Cody. So Kristen, if you can go down to slide number 21 for K9 Cody. Sorry about this, people. This is what happens. We're just so grateful everybody's here to be able to celebrate these animals this way. Okay, so Cody is receiving our Distinguished Service Medal, and she is from Carsville, Virginia. She served with the United States Embassy in Baghdad, and now is still on active duty with American K9 Interdiction. Here is her wonderful story.
This is K9 Cody. My name is James Overton. Cody and I have been together since about 2015. She's a German Shepherd Belgian Malinois mix. She's almost 13 years old. She's been doing this for quite a while. Cody is trained on explosives and firearms detection. She originally worked for the U.S. Embassy for the State Department over in Iraq, and she did that for about 2 years prior to her getting transferred back to Minnesota, where she was working for All America in the Minnesota Vikings Stadium. And then after that, she ended up getting transferred to me, and Cody and I became partners in 2015. And since 2015, we really haven't slowed down, even to this day. We've done stuff for Busch Gardens, we've done stuff for SeaWorld, Six Flags, we've done stuff for the NBA All-Stars, NFL, at Philadelphia Eagles Stadium. We've done a Taylor Swift concert, which was pretty intense. The Swifties are at a whole different level. And she's been such a phenomenal partner. Her drive for work is just incredible. You know, and she's coming up on 13 now. And that drive to work is still there. The company I work for now, American Kitt and interdiction, one of the big things that we focus on is training. And a lot of times we end up using Cody as an example of how to run a K9, and what what other handlers, new handlers can strive for with a K9. I've actually learned quite a bit about what it is to be a K9 handler from Cody. And the crazy thing is that even at 13, she's just as sharp, if not sharper, than the new K9s that are out there. Here recently, the last year, with some of the contracts that we have in the schools, we have a contract with local schools to bring the bugs in to look for firearms and narcotics. It's called the School K9 Safety Initiative, and it's something that we've been working on for the last couple of years. The schools probably 4 to 5 times a week. But we've been working in the schools now in Virginia for about 3 years. And Cody, she's trying to define the odor of explosives and firearms as well. And here recently, she was able to locate a firearm in the trunk of a student's vehicle. Although that's not a happy ending to kind of is, because there's no time what we're able to prevent with that. And she was able to detect the odor of that firearm from outside the vehicle, and it's just it just blows my mind that still at the age of 13, she's still just as sharp as she was. One thing that's unique with Cody versus some of the other K9s out there is Cody's trying to find that target odor on people as they're carrying it. So if somebody were to try to sneak a firearm in, whether it's in their bag or inside their waistband or something like that, Cody's going to be able to recognize that odor and alert us to the presence of that. But with her, she's such a unique K9. She's so incredibly social. She's so incredibly friendly. And she really, really loves the kids. A lot of people ask me, like, hey, she's 13 years old. When is she going to retire? And my response to everybody is, she'll tell me when she's ready to retire. When she doesn't get as excited as my younger partner to come out here, that I really this time for her to stay home. But I let her keep working. As long as she wants to work, she's really just kind of made my job really, really easy. I always refer to myself as the dumb end of the leash. And with Cody, it's just, that's really is the case. But we keep pushing hard and keep trying to keep the kids safe in the schools and the other places we work. And it's just it's something I really love to do. I appreciate you guys coming out today and recognizing her for the amazing work she's doing. I couldn't ask for a better partner with Cody.
K9 Cody began working shortly after training at 18 months of age. She accumulated over 4,000 hours of explosive detection operations in Iraq and over 3,000 hours of explosive detection operations in Minnesota. After her final transfer to the eastern United States, she added more than 5,000 hours of explosive detection operations. We are so very proud to award K9 Cody with the Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal number 5. Congratulations, Cody, for your hard work and distinguished service, especially keeping our children safe in school with American K9 interdiction. Introduce K9 Cody and James Overton to the front, and Congressman Michael Quigley will say a few words and then present the medal.
Thank you. Good evening. It is an honor to be with you and present this Distinguished Service Medal to K9 Cody. Let me first thank Animals in War and Peace for inviting me to be part of the 4th annual medal ceremony to recognize the hard and dangerous work of U.S. service animals and their handlers. Is a proud animal lover with several dogs of our own in our family, which, as you all know, family, it adds to this. And if you ever need dogs to search for pork chops, hidden pork chops, my dogs can do that. They couldn't do what your wonderful dog does. But our friends are our best friend and deserve to be treated with disrespect and love. Cody and James perfectly capture that unique bond. Their work together is responsible for keeping countless lives out of harm's way and keeping people safe. It is amazing. At 13, Cody, you look awesome. You're still showing the other dogs how it's done. We often talk about sacrifices of our service members and law enforcement that make us safe. Cody's right there with them. Because of her and James, so many people and communities have been kept safe. Thank you to you, James and Cody, for your selfless work and commitment to service. You deserve all the awards and treats you can possibly get. So it's my honor to present this Distinguished Service Medal to our friend and hero, K9 Cody.
All right, can everybody hear me okay? All right, awesome. First, I want to thank the Lord above for giving me the opportunity to have probably the best job in the entire world and for giving me a partner like Cody. Next, I want to thank my wife, Jessica, mainly for tolerating all the enormous amount of dog hair that is at our house and the undisclosed number of additional canines I may or may not have at the house as well. But honestly, just for her support, with the trips to D.C., the hours of training and everything that goes along with, especially the newest dog thing that K9 guys have to have, all the newest dog stuff. Thank you for putting up with me with that. I appreciate that. Thanks to Robin and your crew here. You guys are doing awesome work recognizing these guys with all we do. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Ganser and the My American Humane family. For those who aren't familiar with K9 Cody, she won the 2020 Hero Dog Awards for American Humane for law enforcement. But no, just thanks for all the work that they're doing as well. AK and I for helping foster the dream I have of being a K9, helping me grow as a handler. But last but not least is my girl Cody here. She really makes my job easy. I always refer to us as the dumb end of the leash. And it's so true, but just the work that her and I are doing from the NBA, the NFL stuff, the Taylor Swift concerts, Busch Gardens, but our most important work I feel is just the stuff we're doing with the schools, keeping our kids safe in schools. She's been doing phenomenal work there as well. It's just such an honor for her to get this recognition. She's not doing it for the honor, she's doing it for the ball. That's all she lives for. So I appreciate all you guys coming out and all the support.
Thank you, Cody. And if you're missing a dog after this, you can probably find it in my room. Something's going on with me. All right, so our next Distinguished Service Medal is going to go to K9 Bane. So, Kristen, if you could go to slide number 18. It should be the story before Cody. And then the video should be next.
My name is Detective Polly Jimenez, and this is K9 Bane, and we are partners with the St. Francis Police Department for almost 7 years. We became partners. He came home with me in March of 2014, and he retired in November of 2020. We started on third shift patrol together back in 2014. Over the course of his career, we did hundreds of calls together. We were one of the only teams on third shift in the Milwaukee County area, and we were on the streets on third shift for the city of St. Francis for about 5 years before we were both promoted to the Bureau. K9 Bane is 100% purebred German Shepherd, 100% purebred butthead. He is trained as what we call a dual purpose. He's a narcotic tracking, apprehension, handler protection canine. So when I say 100% butthead, I mean it, because when I first got K9 Bane, he was probably, by terms of law enforcement canines, one of the most difficult canines that I think any handler could ever get. I think his stubbornness is what made him the best asset to the team, because he never gave up, and with a lot of training, trust, and hard work, we made this dog into one of the best canines I think that's ever worked the streets. In 2017, we were deputized and brought on as task force members for the FBI Milwaukee SWAT team, essentially what they like to call a force multiplier. And we served in that capacity for almost 3 years, serving 36 high-risk missions with the team and taking a lot of bad guys into custody. On a cold day in 2017, K9 Bane and I were assigned to support the FBI SWAT team on the north side of Milwaukee for a high-risk arrest warrant. The offender was wanted on federal parole violations for trafficking narcotics and weapons. And we knew that this was going to be a very dangerous mission. We pulled up to the house. The Bearcat breached the front door, which was 45 2x4s. We made numerous calls to him to come out. The team on the B side of the residence had called that they had contact with somebody. So K9 Bane and I made our way over there, and a man who we quickly identified as our target kept sticking his head out of the doorway and saying that he wasn't coming out and that we needed to come in and get him. Well, knowing his history and how dangerous this mission was, that wasn't going to be an option. And even without needing to tell him, Bane keyed up on this man and brought all of his teeth out. His jaws were all the way out, his lips were all the way back around his teeth, and I could see every one of his teeth inside of his mouth. He never made a bark, but the growl was so loud that the guy could hear him inside of the doorway. We never saw the guy's hands, so what we didn't know was that he was concealing a handgun in his hand while he stood in the doorway and talked to us. He kept saying, "Come in and get me, come in and get me." And finally I yelled to him, I said, "The only one coming in and getting you is the dog." And he didn't like that. So he ended up getting down on his hands and knees and crawling to us. Once we had the house cleared and the team came in to search and secure evidence, we learned that the offender, while he was standing in the doorway, not only had a loaded handgun, but he also had an SKS rifle ready to go with 4 loaded magazines. He was ready for a war with the police. He just didn't know we would have Bane with us. Bane truly was a force multiplier that day. And I know in my heart that there are a lot of times I went home and my guys went home safe because he was there. And I truly believe that even though he was unique and he could be the biggest butthead, still is the biggest butthead, I know that I am one of the luckiest handlers on the planet to have him as my partner.
K9 Bane was the very first K9 officer for the St. Francis Police Department. During his 7 years of service, K9 Bane and Detective McManus logged 560 calls for service together. Bane assisted in the arrest of 220 offenders and participated in over 50 high-risk warrants with 2 different SWAT teams. In 2023, a beautiful bronze monument of K9 Bane by artist Kristen Douglas Seitz is dedicated at the St. Francis Police Department to honor his and future K9 service to their community. And today, we are so incredibly proud to award K9 Bane the Animals in One Piece Distinguished Service Medal number 6. Congratulations, Bane, for your distinguished service with the St. Francis Police Department and FBI Milwaukee SWAT. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, up front is Detective Holly McManus and K9 Bane. Additionally, here in the room, the artist of the beautiful monument for K9 Bane by Kristen Douglas Seitz. She's here tonight, too, as one of our latest board members. She's over by working on the videos here. His prognosis was 6 months, but almost 2 years later, Bane continues to fight every day and raise awareness of this debilitating disease and helps other working canines through the K9 Bane Hero Foundation. We are so incredibly proud and pleased that he made this trip tonight. It's just amazing. And we'd also like to welcome Congressman Bryan Steil, K9 Bane's Member of Congress in Milwaukee, and he'll say a few words and present the medal. Thank you, Congressman Steil.
Thank you. Detective McManus really exemplified the bravery that the men and women of law enforcement do across the country. And today, look at the mic. Is this better?
Yes!
Let's start again. Detective McManus with the St. Francis Police Department really exemplified the bravery that every man and woman in law enforcement exemplifies every day that they wake up with the badge over their heart, walk out the door, knowing that they're going to answer the call, but not knowing what the call is going to be. Today we get an opportunity to recognize Officer Bane and the canines that assist in that work. It's the bravery of the dog that's willing to go into the door and apprehend the bad guys and come out. But it's also a loyalty between the officer and the dog. The dog, through the loyalty to Detective McManus and others, is willing to do that work, but also the loyalty of the handlers to be able to take care of the dog. When we were talking earlier with Detective McManus, she said, following dozens of SWAT raids and over 200 credited apprehensions, every time she would take K9 Bane to McDonald's and get an Egg McMuffin meal, and K9 Bane would have the hash browns. And so maybe K9 Bane was doing some of the work for the hash browns, maybe for the loyalty, but unquestionably, K9 Bane had the bravery that we see in so many of our service animals to be able to assist our law enforcement officers to carry out their job. And so it's an honor to be able to present the 2024 Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal to K9 Bane.
Thank you, Congressman Steil. Holly, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. And if you ask the guys that I work with, they would say that Holly definitely wants to say a few words. But thank you so much. This is incredible. I haven't ugly cried yet. We did a ceremony in December back at my police department in Wisconsin because he was not supposed to be here. Again and again, I've said he's not supposed to be here, but as these canine handlers know that are sitting here, these dogs stay here because of us. Bane is here because he knew we had one final mission. He knew he had to come to DC. I am so blessed to be here. Thank you so much to Robin and the Animals in War and Peace and Kristen for memorializing my boy in bronze outside of our police department. My friends, my family, my administration, the FBI SWAT team, which was like the coolest team I ever got to work with. Those guys really know how to shake things up. And to the man that's standing next to Robin, he doesn't get enough credit. It's my fiance Jason, the father of my children, and Babe's dad. He's always stood beside me and recognized the intensive work that it requires to be a canine handler. And thank you to my best friend. See, I'm gonna cry now. I don't want to cry. But thank you to my best friend, and he looks like he's okay, I promise. He's my grumpy old man. He's a butthead. They're all buttheads, right? I mean, really, ultimately they are. But being a canine handler is the best job on the planet, no doubt. So thank you again, and I'm so blessed to be honored among heroes today. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Bane. God bless you. Oh my gosh. We actually awarded a temporary medal to him in December 13th because we didn't expect him to live till the end of the new year. And here he is today, just to receive it. I'm gonna cry, so anyway. Our next medal tonight it's Kitt and Yoda. Kitt and Yoda. Okay, so we're going to do it that way. Okay. So our next medal is a posthumous one. This is going to be K9 Kitt 823K. So the slide, Kristen, is number 14. There it is. And this is the story of Kitt.
Doing this job, becomes your life.
People have no idea how smart these dogs are and what they're willing to do for their animals. You're spending more time with these dogs than you are your family. They're with you 24/7. Everything they do in furtherance of their mission. So anything that we do for them is in furtherance of their mission.
They are right at the most dangerous job that we have. That position is at the front of every bad situation that we're looking at.
You get these calls unless it's a missing child or senior. It's usually somebody did a violent act, and now you're going to find them. And they have many times, and it's been, they were highly successful, but there's also times like this where it ends up people, kids, been shot and killed, officers have been.
Kitt was the first one to encounter the bad. Had Kitt not been there would have been nothing in between the bad guy, his firearm, the rounds that went downrange, and the officers that were with Kitt. Kitt was struck multiple times. Those bullets would have landed somewhere. They did not.
This dog gave its all and sacrificed everything for his handler and reacted the way that you're trained to do. And, by the grace of God, the two officers didn't get fatally wounded. They're significantly injured. But the dog did. And it breaks your heart because, the dog's doing everything it can to please its handler. And they train relentlessly. And you feel blessed.
He saved the lives of 3 human officers. There's no doubt in my mind. If he was going to pick a way to go out, it was saving the guys. That's what he did.
That dog, I've said this the last, I don't know how many years, is a true warrior, a warrior. I've been doing this 28 years. I probably will never see a dog like that again.
My name is William Cushing, K9 handler for the town of Braintree, Massachusetts Police Department. In 2011, I was paired up with my K9 partner, Kitt, who was an 85-pound Belgian Malinois. Kitt specialized in tracking and apprehension and was also a certified SWAT K9. Since day one, Kitt made it pretty obvious that it was him and I against the world just by the way he acted. The bond was instantaneous between the two of us, and I just got the 1 in a million dog. On June 4th, 2021, my phone rang. It was the dispatcher from work, and he said, "Can you and Kitt come into work? We need to find this guy that's wanted for a domestic assault." The dispatcher said he's definitely out with 1 firearm. As soon as we get a little closer, he has a 2nd firearm. So the call went from like a 3 to a 10 pretty quick. I requested 2 backup officers to accompany me on the K9 track. I started air sending Kitt along this wood line, and then Kitt immediately goes all in this wood line, and he's pulling like crazy into the wood line. So I knew this was where the guy was based on his behavior, I could tell. So as we navigate a couple hundred yards into this thick vegetation, Kitt makes contact with the suspect. As soon as he makes contact with the suspect, I see him pull out he has a semi-automatic firearm, and he fires 3 quick rounds, basically contact shots right at the Kitt. So Kitt falls back towards me, and then it's just me and this dude pointing guns at each other, and who's going to shoot fast enough. I don't even know I was hit at first until I tried to reload. When I looked down at my left arm, and it looked like my left arm was blown off. So I was pretty much losing all function because I was losing so much blood. And at the time now the suspect's down, and I'm losing consciousness. And luckily I had the right guys with me that were able to apply medical aid to me. And they placed the tourniquet on my left arm and saved me from losing out that day. I can honestly say that day, if we did not have Kitt, we would have walked right over that guy, and we probably would have had 3 dead cops that day. So luckily, Kitt did what he was trained to do, and got us home to our families. And I know without him that I wouldn't be here today.
Officer Cushing was shot 5 times during this encounter, 2 in his chest, 1 in his side, and 2 in his left arm. Officer Donahue was also hit in his left arm. Without Kitt's sacrifice, it would have been much, much worse. On October 19, 2023, the town of Braintree unveiled a beautiful bronze monument of Kitt to honor his service and sacrifice. 5 children came up with the idea to create the monument in Kitt's honor, and they raised the money by selling lemonade. We are very proud to award K9 Kitt with the Animals in War and Peace Medal of Bravery number 17. Thank you, Kitt, for your incredible devotion, service, and sacrifice with the Braintree, Massachusetts Police Department. This is William Cushing, Kitt's handler, and Congressman Jamie Raskin will say a few words and present the medal.
Well, that was extraordinarily powerful, and it's an honor to get to participate in a celebration of the heroism and the contribution and the sacrifice of these remarkable dogs, but also the same of these remarkable officers. And I want to thank all 9 of the officers who came down from Braintree, Massachusetts to be with us today. We depend on these dogs, and they perform remarkable feats for us, but too often we don't get to recognize it. So I'm delighted that we get to make these awards, in this case a posthumous award, but I'm also an original co-sponsor of the Animals in War and Peace resolution, led by Representatives Brownley and Bilirakis, which will recognize the contributions and the sacrifice of these animals in the armed forces and working for our police departments. So it's my honor to present the posthumous award to K9 Kitt, and I have the honor to deliver the award to Braintree Police Officer Bill Cushing, and we can keep that to you now. Apparently one of my colleagues couldn't make it, and so I'm also delighted to be the conveyor of the Medal of Bravery medal to Yoda and his handler, Pat Berlin, as well. And I think we'll show the video after. I've got to get back to the floor to go. But the great thing about these dogs, I realize, is they don't belong to a political party, and they don't have to go vote.
So, hold on to the medal for a second, because I'd like to have Billy Cushing say a few words first before we present the medal to Yoda.
I'll just be quick. I'm honored to be here. Robin, thank you. Animals in War and Peace, thank you. Thank you to my guys in the back for being here for me. And like I said in the video, if it wasn't for Kitt, I wouldn't be standing here today. And yeah, it's nice to get the word out what these dogs actually do, because they are smarter than normal people know they are. And again, thanks for being here. I'm glad to be in the company of all
So Congressman Raskin's on a tight time schedule, so we'll present the medal and then we'll play the video of Yoda's story. Put it on. Thank you, Congressman Raskin. Patty, why don't you sit down, we'll play your video, then we'll call you back up and you can say your remarks. So, we're going to go to the last. Look at you. That's awesome. Good job. Next slide is, this is Yoda's story.
During the patrol, I recognized a very distinct voice from my teammate yelling, "Please show me your hands." At that moment, I decided to deploy Yoda. I'm Border Patrol Agent Patrick Berlin, and I'm a member of the U.S. Border Patrol Tactical Unit, BORTAC. I'm assigned to the Detroit Sector, Special Operations Detachment. This is my K9 partner, Yoda. He's a Belgian Malinois, was born in the Netherlands in 2019. We became a certified K9 team in May of 2022. Ever since we got paired up, I mean, this dog teaches me things every day. He's become such a loyal partner, and he really does mean everything to me. I spend more time with this dog than my wife and my kids, my teammates, my friends and family. We travel all across the country for training and operations. So a typical day with Yoda and I is training. Everything's based around training. We usually start the day with some sort of physical fitness, do some obedience. Then we'll run actual work type searches, so ability searches, article searches, and obviously a lot of light work, physical apprehensions. Out of all the missions we've completed together, nothing stands out more than the recent manhunt in Chester County, Pennsylvania. That mission was to locate and apprehend Danilo Cavalcante. Cavalcante was illegally present in the United States, and he was wanted in Brazil, his native country, for double homicide back in 2017. Additionally, he was serving a life sentence in Chester County Jail for the 2021 murder of his girlfriend, Deborah Brando. And so the final morning, very early hours, the DE aircraft with thermal technology was able to locate a heat signature within the search area. Around daybreak, Yoda and myself, along with the rest of my team from Detroit and a team from Buffalo, WARTAC teams as well, were able to patrol into the woods. And the plan from there was we were going to link up with the SWAT team already in place and make one final push with all the resources that we had available to us to locate the subject at that time. During that final patrol, I heard a loud voice from behind me. I immediately recognized that as one of my teammates from Detroit, and he was yelling, "Police, show me your hands." Right then I turned and I observed my teammate trying to maintain control of the subject as he crawled through the brush with his hands concealed beneath his body. And it was at that time that I decided to deploy Yoda. And Yoda was able to navigate the brush and the dense terrain. He was even able to navigate through some of our teammates to locate the subject. And the first sight picture he had was Cavalcante's head. So at first he bit Cavalcante's head. And then from there he was unable to maintain a grip. From there I issued an additional apprehension command, which then Yoda was able to secure the subject with a full mouth bite on his thigh. At that point, Cavalcante removed his left hand and began to punch Yoda in the face and try to pry him off him. And then that gave our teammates enough time to put both his hands in the handcuffs and were able to secure the subject at that time. I was able to remove Yoda from the bite at that moment once the subject was secure. And we observed a stolen rifle within a foot of him, right next to him there. The conclusion of this mission was a huge relief, not only for myself and Yoda, but a big sense of relief for the surrounding community. I mean, this guy's been armed and dangerous. Murderer's been freely roaming through their community for quite some time now, so they're able to continue life as it was before. Receiving the Medal of Bravery on behalf of Yoda is a a tremendous honor. This whole experience since this manhunt has been extremely surreal. To even be mentioned in the same category as some of these other hero dogs who received this award, like Cairo and Hurricane, is just, wow, it's been a very cool experience. Thank you.
K9 Yoda is generally utilized in high-risk operations that are tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving. Since May of 2022, he has served on 24 high-risk operations alongside his VORTAC team. These operations have yielded seizures of a significant amount of illicit narcotics, over $850,000 in U.S. currency, 58 firearms, and led to 39 arrests. We are very proud to award K9 Yoda with the Animals and War and Peace Medal of Bravery number 18. Congratulations, Yoda, for your steadfast dedication and service with the Detroit Sector Special Operations Detachment, United States Border Patrol Tactical Unit.
First, apologize for Yoda being cranky. Yeah, wow, what an honor it is to accept this award on behalf of my partner Yoda here. I mean, if you would have told me just a few months ago while we were patrolling through the forest outside of Philadelphia that I'd be standing here with you guys today, I'd probably call you all crazy. So we operate in a team environment. No one individual can be successful. It truly does take a team effort. And within our team, each member takes ownership over a small portion. Then collectively we can take on anything. I'd like to thank both my team from the Detroit Sector Special Operations Detachment, as well as the Buffalo Sector Special Operations Detachment. Long hours through the heat, humidity, dense terrain, our two teams worked closely together over the course of those 2 weeks. It was the efforts of these men that were able to bring that operation to the best law enforcement conclusion possible. And like everything in our teams, things are shared. Things like this award. So this award is also shared with my teammates, these guys in the back. We gotta stand up. Thank you. I'd also like to thank our national team and Special Operations Group headquarters in El Paso, Texas. Without them, we would not have had round-the-clock coverage over this operation. They're responsible and integral to our success. I'd also like to thank the Pennsylvania State Police. They had the most impressive uniform presence I've ever experienced in my time in law enforcement. Their hard work and diligence on the front lines, from maintaining perimeters and assets to the investigators and analysts behind the scenes answering phone calls and following up on leads. Their hard work and efforts allowed us to be in the right place at the right time to do what we do best. Next thank you goes out to our families. Sometimes we have to pack up and leave at a moment's notice with travel across the country with no timeline and we'll come back. And that places a ton of stress on our significant others. It's their hard work and dedication that allow us to focus on the mission at hand and not have to worry about how things back home are going, knowing that it's in their hands. They are truly the behind-the-scenes warriors. So I'd like to thank our wives, especially Yoda's mom, my wife Elaine, who's here today. So thank you guys. Lastly, I'd like to thank my partner, Yoda here. I was lucky to get paired up with this dog. I mean, he truly is amazing. He teaches me things almost every day, even if he's a pain sometimes, like you guys saw tonight. Yeah, it was great to see, all those long hours, all the extra repetitions of training, all the other missions we've gone on, and the day-to-day grind all come to fruition with the successful conclusion of this manhunt. It really was rewarding. And as I said earlier, this is a team effort, and Yoda is part of our team. that morning, he owned his small portion of it and executed it flawlessly. And without a doubt in my mind, I know that Yoda's quick actions changed that subject's mindset and took the fight out of him. That gave us the time we needed to bring the manhunt to an end and allowed us all to safely go home to our families. So thank you, Yoda, for your sleep.
Thank you so much, Patty Berlin, and thank you, Yoda. That's just amazing. Just amazing what you guys did. All right, so moving along. Okay. If you can go to slide number 28. No, excuse me, one, pardon me, 29 for K9 Sonia. There we go. K9 Sonia is our next Distinguished Service Medalist. She's from the United States Coast Guard, so let's watch her story.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. I am Chief James Brent in the U.S. Coast Guard. This is retired explosive detection K9 Sonia, which is currently filling a position in Coast Guard Crew Command as the very first K9. Sonia's breed is a Belgian Malinois from the Netherlands. She came here when she was about a year and a half old and was selected to join Lackland Air Force Base TSA program. Sonia's primary job in the Coast Guard is to detect and deter acts of terrorism on and around U.S. soil. Therefore, she was selected to be one of 18 K9s during her time of service. Currently, Sonia has served explosive detection capability detection for the past 9 years, and just recently retired from explosive detection in 2023. And now is working alongside me every day, coming to freaking office Dallas and meeting people coming to the front doors. We've been working together since 2014. Some of the works that we and Sonia did together was deterrent acts of terrorism on U.S. soil that consisted of in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, Seattle area. That was a fair detection. And in between our random security patrols, we were tasked out with other outside agencies to assist them with explosive detection for crime scene evidence, bomb threats in the neighborhoods, and dignitary and VP visits. Some notable things that we did up in Seattle was, presidential sweeps, met a couple presidents, and been able to be used in crime scene evidence for a high-speed pursuit that involved a multiple homicide in the area. Me and Sonia searched on foot about 2 to 3 square blocks, and upon nearing the end of our search, when everyone thought that there was nothing there, Sonia encountered the change of behavior and led me to what was recently a firearm that was just recently shot the night prior. ATF was able to pull the fingerprints on the firearm and was able to lock up the individual that was committing crime and homicides in the area. From there, we just helped out on a lot of just local bomb threats with big facilities, assisting FBI, ATF, being a force multiplier in that capacity. In 2018, myself, Sonia family transitioned from Maritime Safety Security Team to MSRT West, which is a counterterrorism unit. So that involved us doing a lot of helicopter deployments, shipboard training, and detection on board all sizes and shapes of vessels, and just kind of pushing the envelope on getting her comfortable with high angle hoist and deliveries on board moving vessels and training on board moving vessels. During that time, K9 Sonia and myself also assisted with multiple high-level national events to include Las Vegas, ball drop, a few Super Bowls out in Los Angeles, Arizona, and Texas, and then followed up with U.S. track and field trials, and then just recently the World Trials athletics. Just recently, K9 Sonia just got diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. And during this transition from explosive detection, she was able to get selected and picked up to become the first K9 recruiter to join our recruiting command. The Distinguished Service Medal for Sonia means to me and the Coast Guard is that she's being recognized for her devotion to duty for the past 11 years of detecting explosives in and around the United States. She has continued to contribute, and now having cancer, she still continues to persevere, push through, and support the Coast Guard in the nation. And I am just ecstatic and honored to be here today. Thank you very much.
Over their 9 years together, K9 Sonia and Chief Grant have performed over 5,000 hours of explosives detection work and executed over 8,500 vehicle sweeps for the Washington State Ferries. They also supported local law enforcement agencies responding to bomb threats on 25 separate occasions. Even with her cancer diagnosis, Sonia continues to serve the Coast Guard as the first ever K9 recruiter. We are so very proud to award K9 Sonia with the Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal No. 7. Congratulations, Sonia, for your distinguished service with the United States Coast Guard. K9 Sonia and Chief James Grant from the United States Coast Guard, and Congressman Mark Veazey, K9 Sonia and Chief Grant's representative in Texas, who will say a few words and present the medal.
Good evening. How are y'all doing? Good. Well, it is wonderful to be with you. I'm Mark Veazey, Congressman for the 33rd Congressional District, to kind of give you some geography of where that is. I represent Dallas and Fort Worth and the surrounding areas. It is great to be with you today. And thank you to Chief James Grant. That was a great video. And I just really want to applaud you and Sonia for the work that y'all do to keep our country safe. Thank you very much. And I'm pleased to be here to honor some of the incredible animals who support U.S. military personnel. Sonia, a retired explosive dog, lives in the North Texas area that I represent, where she has made history as the first ever K9 recruiter for the Coast Guard. She's obviously lived a very heroic life, as you can tell from the video, and she's protected service members, presidents, foreign dignitaries, and so many others from the public. And has responded to over 25 real bomb threats throughout her service. And as we heard in the video, Sonia was diagnosed with cancer that required urgent care. At the end of last year, she received that care, and it led to the removal of 4 cancerous limbs from around her neck. And so I'm grateful that her surgery was successful and that she is here with us today. And I'm also happy to be an original co-sponsor of the resolution that is introduced by my colleagues that we introduced in a bipartisan fashion. Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Representative Julia Brownley from California, which recognizes animals and handlers like Sonia and Chief Grant, who exemplify bravery, selflessness, and dedication in times of war and peace. And with that, it is my honor to present the Animals in War and Peace Distinguished Service Medal. Yes, absolutely. Here. To K9 Sonia, a dog who truly embodies all good qualities that this award recognizes. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Veazey, for being here tonight and supporting the resolution. It's wonderful.
My little boy just fell asleep. Zach, you'll see this when you wake up. All right, good evening, Mr. Robin, members of Congress, and Captain Kevin from Coast Guard Recruiting Command, and distinguished guests. I want to thank you all for coming out here tonight and taking time out of your lives to see this greatness. I am deeply honored to stand before you tonight to accept this Distinguished Service Medal on behalf of K9 Cody, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Coast Guard for their unwavering support over the past 9 years of always putting K9s first. I want to express my sincere appreciation to the Coast Guard Recruiting Command for their innovative approach in allowing K9 Cody to transition into a groundbreaking role for the first K9 recruiter. This transition has not only provided Sonia with a sense of normalcy, but has also been instrumental in ensuring her well-being as she graciously moved from her operational exposure protection into K9 recruiting. What that means is once we go from operations, these dogs go with us from day to day, jump in the car with us, they're used to that normal rhythm. And once that's over with, the dogs don't really have anything to look forward to. So by being able to bring her into Coast Guard Recruiting Command, I don't have a fancy government vehicle anymore with lights and sirens and all that, but I have a nice truck that I have now that I can throw Sonia in and she goes to work with me, and that's what keeps her going. Back in October, the sarcoma came back, and she was not really responding much, not eating, not wanting to get up, and I was able to rush her to urgent care, and Sonia got enrolled into a nonprofit organization called Project K9 Hero. Not sure if you handlers have heard of that, but it's a nonprofit that will take over medical expenses. You apply for it, and right then and there, they took over several more masses, about $20,000 worth of procedures within a matter of minutes. They paid for and covered, and here she is today, 4 or 5 months after. Not really missing a beat. Grateful for Lieutenant Diener in the back. My last supervisor that helped make this happen today to get me to where I am at in Coast Guard Recruiting and K9 Sonia. Gentleman in the back too, wherever he is, Christopher Hartman. These are some of the pictures here. He was a mentor to me throughout the years, and he was the reason why I actually continue to push through and become a K9 handler. There's 18 in the service. They say it's better off winning the lottery than being selected as a K9 handler in the Coast Guard. But he motivated me to not give up, and after 7 years, I made it. Finally, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to my wife and children, Heather Grant, Violet, and Ivy, one of the glitter sparkle dresses, and Zachary, just like the red hair on me, sleeping, for their unwavering support throughout my countless deployments and missed holidays. Their love and care for Sonia has been invaluable, and I'm forever grateful for their sacrifice and patience. Sonia, though a sweet old lady today, has had her moments. From new rugs being needing to be purchased over, and altercations, she has always been a constant in our lives. Whether it was traveling cross country for new duty stations or family vacations, we wouldn't change a thing except for that one rug. Thank you all for your incredible honor. Thank you all for this incredible honor. Sonia's journey is a testament to the dedication and teamwork of all involved. Together we continue to serve with pride and commitment. Once again, thank you, Ms. Robin, for this extraordinary opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sonia, for being here. This was wonderful, and we're just very, very grateful to have you. Kristen, if you could go back to slide 24. There's some people I want to recognize and thank here tonight. Oops. That's my mistake. There we go. There you go. Perfect. So once again, during this time of year, next Wednesday, March 13th, is K9 Veterans Day. And it's a national way to really honor all of these K9 veterans that we're honoring tonight. And it's really, really something special. So we always try to celebrate that day and this ceremony always at that time of year. It was March 13th, 1942, during World War II, when the first K9 team was put together, Dogs for Defense. And marked the first of the Armed Services K9 program. So next Wednesday, we're very honored to be here to celebrate them next Wednesday as well. In honor of K9 Veterans Day, I'd like to recognize two of the past recipient dog handlers who are with us tonight. And fellas, please stand up when I call your name because I want you to be recognized. From 2022 ceremony, we have Marshall Merarkey with K9 Hurricane for Distinguished Service Medal members. From our 2023 ceremony, Travis Harrison for K9K got Medal of Bravery. I'd like to now introduce our other co-host for the evening, Chuck Rottenberry. He's the Vice President of U.S. War Dogs Association. Chuck retired after 14 years of faithful service in the Marine Corps. Hoorah! And yes, indeed. And nearly serves in every facet of the working dog program community, from canine handler, trainer, to instructor. Thank you for being here tonight. This is
Thank you, Robin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly an honor to be here with all these K9 teams and their families that support this unimaginable and often difficult mission. Again, my name is Chuck Rottenberry. It was my pleasure to serve my entire time in the Marine Corps, to serve in the military working dog community. I'm grateful to continue to do that with U.S. Working Dogs, or U.S. War Dog Association. Around 2000, late 90s, five Vietnam dog handlers representing 3 different branches of service got together in a reunion. Much like this today, they're bonded by what they shared with their canine partners, the honor that they have among them, and the mission that they all supported. In that meeting, they got back together, they decided, hey, we need to recognize these dogs, we need to honor these dogs. How can we do that? Let's see if we can get some money and raise funds to build a statue to do that. Honor these military working dogs. Vietnam dogs didn't get a lot of recognition. 2000, these gentlemen came together and formed what we now know as U.S. War Dog Association. Shortly thereafter, September 11th came along and their mission changed. They now had to support the next generation of military work dog teams going forward, deploying areas like Iraq, Afghanistan, and other places throughout the world. They decided to help us out on the receiving end of care packages, anything from specialized gear, equipment, to just little touches of home, things that kind of brought us back to reality from the environments that we were in. These 5 members have never met each other until this reunion. They didn't know each other, but they had that common bond, like you see with these handlers here and their families and the dogs that they're with. In 2006, they realized their mission was growing and far beyond that of just care packages. They developed basically practical support throughout their lifetime for the military working dogs and their handlers. These dogs, their mission, their sacrifice is endless, it's unknown, and we're the only ones that limit them in their capabilities. So it's upon us to help support them throughout their entire life cycle. And that's exactly what War Dogs does. Be it care packages, specialized equipment, we've just sent over 30,000 care packages throughout our lifetime. As a matter of fact, this past winter, just a little bit over 200 care packages went to teams still forward deployed in need of specialized gear and equipment. Our medical programs, prescription program, we currently have about 1,000 dogs that we're supporting, saving families and those veterans more than $1.5 million in veterinary costs. Emergency surgeries, we're able to save veterans and their families that financial burden over $700,000. Just in this current year, it rose about $25,000 in supporting those dogs, maintaining that life in retirement. We honor their service in retirement with service medals. Our founders believed it was important to take care of the dogs, their health and welfare. Their dogs, their service dogs, their working dogs didn't receive that at the end of their service. So we make sure we do that. And that's where we step into our partner with Red Bank Veterinary Hospital and continue to serve these dogs in their retirement. It's my honor to be part of this organization and to see these dogs now sleeping quietly after they've gotten to know one another a little bit. and to serve as U.S. War Office Vice President. And I cannot thank you all enough, the families and friends that are here, Ms. Robin, and the Animals in War and Peace for giving you guys the opportunity to be recognized for the sacrifice that you've made. And given this year's recipients, I'll end my talk with K9 leads the way. Thank you.
Okay, now I just need to do a number of people who are with us tonight that made this event happen. This is the 4th year in a row that Linda Blick from Tales of Hope Foundation has been a tremendous source of strength, encouragement, and ideas as a board member in the planning of this event. Gold sponsor Timothy T. Day Foundation supports organizations and activities that support the Marines and the U.S. Marine Corps. And through Lulu's Fund, they help animal welfare organizations that provide care for abused animals and abandoned dogs. They have generously supported the Reckless Monuments and all of our ceremonies in the past, as has Gary and Mary West in California. We're very fortunate to have their strong support over the years. I'd like to thank returning silver sponsors, MedVet, who joined us for the 3rd year in a row. MedVet is a leading veterinarian-owned group of specialty and emergency hospitals. And actually, MedVet is giving Sonia her treatments, which is just amazing. This is also the 3rd year in a row that Lee and Ramona Bass, Deborah Circus-Getter, and Martha and Stephen Peterson from the Peterson Family Foundation have supported this noble effort. And Three Pearls Charities is here for the 2nd time. This year, we also have a few new sponsors. Bronze sponsors K9 Hurricanes Heroes, a federally recognized nonprofit organization that provides retired law enforcement and military dogs with subsidized veterinary care so they can live a long and healthy life. National Assessment, a company that does strategic human resource consulting. Thank you for being here, Dale. Omaha Equestrian Foundation that showcases the transformative power of horses through therapeutic and other programs. And Marine Corps League Detachment 1062. Thank you, hoorah. Most of them are here tonight to help us celebrate. We also have a new gold sponsor here, Hydrolonics. I don't know if I said that right, but Hydrolonics, I think it's right. Hydrolonics is a small high-tech company specializing in extreme performance, small unmanned vehicles for both water and air. In fact, one of their unmanned vehicles is this really cool banner over here, named after Sergeant Reckless, which is really just, I just think it's so cool. It can carry over 500 pounds. So I'd like to ask Tony Mulligan to come up here, the CEO and President of Hydrolonics, and say a few words.
Wow, it's a great honor to be with people who do such important things for our society. And Rob, awesome job and your teams. I'm overwhelmed. I haven't attended this before, but there's a point I want to share with all of you why we're here and why we're getting involved and why we hope to increase our involvement and support for this type of thing. Our story basically starts back in 1958. So what happens in the Marine Corps, the Marine buys a racehorse, one of the fastest horses during the Korean War. And what do they do with this racehorse? They take it and they teach it to be a pack horse. And they teach it to carry a lot of stuff. And while Sergeant Reckless was very affectionate with many of her troops, she'd drink their beers and eat their chips and all those kinds of things. She was basically, when her moment where she was called and she answered, she went up and down the hill. It didn't matter how many water runs were going on. It didn't matter that she got wounded, her handler was gone, and she'd get upset at you if you didn't go the right way. So go fast forward 60 years, we developed for the Marines a new general purpose platform that actually was the first attempt of making a small robotic boat to go very fast. So basically, in the unmanned surface vehicle world, a race one. And so we started experimenting with the Marines that are using this thing. And what did they do? They loaded it up with Hellfire missiles, ammo rounds, and they put like 500 pounds on it, and we told them it's good for 40. And, you know, and then they programmed it, and it became apparent over the following months and training periods that they could see that robots will just keep on doing the mission, no matter what. And they approached me and said, hey, we want to start calling this thing reckless. And I was like, well, what is reckless? And that doesn't really sound like a good brand marketing thing. Our thing is reckless. And but then they told me the story, they showed me the videos, they got me one of Robin's books. And I thought about it and was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. And I had to battle with Navy leadership for a bit because the Admiral wasn't very excited about calling his funded project reckless. But it's turned into quite a thing. And recklesses are out going out to the Philippines, they're all over dealing with the problems in Europe. And what I wanted to point out is now, if you come and visit our company and meet our staff, there is a very, very strong presence about reckless. And they're like, hey, you know, we want to stick up to, you know, honor her name and what she did. And, you know, our engineers, our technicians, our scientists, they work very hard all the time to improve reckless. And they all know the story and they all follow that inspiration. And so what I wanted to share with you guys is Reckless was 66 years ago. When she was doing her thing. And now, later, she's become a major inspiration for a group of people to make a big difference and do things. And these beautiful animals that we saw today, many of us may not be alive when we see the full effect of what these very particular specific animals have done for humankind, you know, and for our planet. And so it's super important that we recognize these great animals, their heroism, their dedication, their love, their passion, and because we're going to get more. There's going to come a whole lot more out of these animals that we saw today. So thank all of you who respect and cherish and honor and support World Truck Tier 2. Thank you all.
We're all reckless. Okay, thank you so much. Lastly, we need to thank our Animals and War and Peace nominating and advisory boards for their guidance, support, thoughtful selection given to these medalists here tonight. Many of them are with us tonight. We have, of course, Mary Lou Livingood, Jocelyn Russell, who's handing out the medals, Rich Vargas, Jay Koisman, Linda Blick, Dave Contney, and Kristen Douglas Seitz. If you guys could stand up real quick, I'd love to give you a hand. Wisdom and guidance, and I'd like to thank them so much for everything this year. It's just been incredible. I need to give a shout out to those who could not make it, but are watching on the live streams that we're doing tonight. Karen Storms, Donna Fleece, Frank Blazich, Chris Willingham, and Ron Aiello. You are missed, you guys, but we know we'll see you next year. Okay, so just trying to get caught up on everything. Actually, if you want to go to the end slide of the medalists, Kristen. I just want to say I am overwhelmed with all of the love, pride, and emotion that filled this room tonight. I know there was not a dry eye in the place with all of these stories. I mean, they're just so amazing. You truly blessed us here tonight with your presence, and we are so grateful for your sacrifice and service to your country. Can we give a round of applause to these wonderful leaders? I'll just make a few announcements before we conclude. The nomination period for our next set of heroes is now open until August 31st. If you know of any that might fit the bill, please go to our website at animalsandpeace.org and check out what we have, and hopefully we'll get some amazing heroes again. We're also looking at possibly doing another award in the spring, so you can also see some of those updates that we'll be adding at that time. We were going to have a blessing of the animals, but the chaplain had to leave, so all I can say is now is thank you all for coming. I want to say, handlers and dogs, please stay up. We're going to get up here and get pictures with your medals and all of that. We have a party at the Holiday Inn National Mall that you're all invited to, so we can celebrate everybody. And thanks again for coming, and we will see you next year.
Right here? All right, here we go.
It's in